Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nick the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And to all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I give y'all a little bit of time to tune in. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on this live, but first things first, like I said, and like I always say, hope everybody had a blessed and productive Sunday. You know, hope everybody was able to get through the day, enjoy their weekend as well. Back to the week tomorrow. So hopefully everybody is just relaxing. I know some of y'all caught the fight last night. Some of y'all caught some of these games. And I also want to thank those who tuned into the live earlier this afternoon. Hopefully everybody did really get something out of that message. Because change could happen in a multitude of ways, definitely. But it's also the same thing. Your health is the most important. Another thing that's important for this year, that should be important to a lot of people, protection of the kids. And I say that because lately it seemed like the kids are doing the utmost as far as being surrounded by things they ain't supposed to be surrounded by, being around weapons they shouldn't be around, so on and so forth. And that is a scary notion when a kid can have a gun and literally shoot somebody. But this is what I'm saying. Some of you parents are gonna have to be wise, especially if you are going to keep your family protected. You got to be wiser in what you being. There should be no reason why a kid gets his hands on your gun and then brings it to school. And we heard this happen so many different times. Yes, not saying you can't bear arms because that is your amendment right. But you also got to be smart. You also got to realize that you're taking a risk at hurting not just yourself, but your family. Your 22, salute. Little Jonathan, salute. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like you got too much of that going on. You know. So yeah, some of y'all parents are definitely gonna have to be mindful of how you do things. Not saying you're not supposed to protect your home and your family at all costs, but you also gotta be responsible. I mean, come on. How many kids gotta keep losing their lives or possibly jeopardizing their future because parents is being, irresponsible? It's just a sad time we're living in right now. And that's another thing that really needs to it should hit home actually. Because it's like I said, that could be your kid in a situation. Gotta be mindful because some of these people feel just because you have the right to bear arms that you're supposed to be stupid when it comes to your kids or comes to your own safety. You gotta think about it now. What if that kid wouldn't have shot a teacher and shot his mom, shot his pops, or shot himself in the process, dropping the gun or whatever? So I'm saying, you know, you have to be safe when it comes to any type of weapon that you might have in the house. You don't want your kids definitely messing around. Coach Sterling, salute, my guy. Niggas, you definitely don't want to see that. You hate to see stories like that. Kids getting a hold of things they ain't supposed to get a hold of, and then now look. You gotta make sure that you are doing the right possible things, but also taking the right steps. And also taking the right steps and protecting your family. But guess what? Gotta have a clear mind. You gotta make sure you got you a little stash box somewhere where they can't get into it. Trust me, when they do, this is when the problem starts. Hey, Bird, blessings. Like I said, you got to think about that. Imagine if he didn't shoot a kid. I mean, imagine if he didn't shoot a teacher. Could have shot another kid. Just like I said, could have shot himself. They always try to say that guns hurt people. No, hurt people. And hurt people with guns definitely hurt people. And irresponsible people with guns hurt people. And in that case right there, you just got to look at it. What would possess you to grab that gun? So I say you got to be mindful too, protecting the kids, because sometimes these kids are getting bullied, and if you're not seeing certain things, they're gonna take that into consideration because they're gonna look at it like nobody's protecting them. So gotta definitely be mindful of that. Like I said, a gun is not a toy. A gun is not something to just have fun with. That's a responsibility right there. And it's also a danger because, like I said, it gets in the wrong hands and it could cause a bunch of trouble. If it's in the responsible hands, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Again, parents, if you know you got a gun or any type of weapon in the house that could cause the damage, you better have your stash box or a hiding place that they won't think to look. And then sometimes you definitely gotta just make sure everything is right with your kid, because you don't want it to find out that he is getting bullied and nobody has been protecting him at all. You know, there was a lot of different things that happened this week though, but that right there was the most shocking. And it's starting to become a pattern that these kids, younger and younger, are picking up these guns. And then you got these parents that are being that irresponsible, and when something happens, now it's a cry of outrage. It's another family broken up. Yo, Popcorn, what's good, my guy? Like I said, it's just something to really think about. Kids are supposed to be kids. They supposed to be enjoying themselves. They supposed to be experiencing life. They shouldn't have to worry about doing something that could cost somebody their life and cost them their lives. You know, nah, it's a whole fact. That's a whole fact, though, OLED. Because see, it's the thing. It's not so much as that old gun laws need to change or get more stricter. No, it's the principle that even if you're gonna be having a weapon. You gotta have logic and common sense. And you gotta have your safety. Like, come on. I feel nobody should be able to get a gun unless they done took a certified gun class and all of that. Like I said, it should be different things added to that if you are going to change gun laws. But then we know some people don't get guns legally, so either still, that's still awakening for some of y'all to keep your keep your tools where you need to keep them at. You know, don't mess yourself up and then mess up your family. Hey, Mayhem, blessings, sis. Yo, really salute, my guy. Yeah, no, that part I know. Like Canada, yo, really salute, my guy. Nah, but in Canada, that is the truth though. See, even out here in certain states, you can have a gun for hunting, but you still got to follow protocol. And even if you go and have a gun for your own personal, again, think smart, think safe, especially if you know you got kids involved. You know, some of the deaths that have been caused by guns, it ain't just violence. Some of those situations happen just by kids playing around, not knowing what they doing, and either the gun dropping or they done squeeze the trigger too hard, and now we have a situation. But again, if you're gonna own a gun, you gotta be smart and wise, and you gotta make sure you got your gun somewhere somewhere safe and stashed so where they can't get to it. My bad, y'all. Just I'm really thinking about that shit because that shit is crazy. You know, like I said, how many deaths have occurred not so much as just for violence, but because of negligence. You know, and I feel like this to a degree. If that type of situation is happening, and you know you was negligent, you as a parent should take that damn. You need to take that loss. And when I mean take that loss, I mean you need to face that type of crime because come on now, all that didn't have to happen if you'd have been smart enough. You know, time to start changing that way of thinking as far as the guns. If you're gonna have guns, take the right type of steps and measurements to make sure your family is safe, but also make sure you're safe. I mean, times kids done got their hands on guns, and even if they ain't shoot nobody, you getting caught in the school with guns, you get caught in the school with certain things you shouldn't have. And then again, that goes right back to the parent in the household because why are they around this for? You know, I feel like that. If you are not protecting your home, you don't need a gun. If you ain't protecting your family, you don't need one. And honestly, if you don't mean no type of good, then you definitely don't need no gun. That's just the overall fact of it. But if you are going to, that's just like prime example. If armed security guards, if they got to take a damn 72-hour class plus whatever, that should be the same thing for anybody trying to get a gun. You got to take a class and make sure follow protocol. It's really about it. I see you, Platty. Blessings. That is one step to try to make things at least a little bit more, you know, a little more lenient to a degree, basically. And it's only going to be lenient because at some point, these type of situations will stop happening. It'll take a little, relief off of everything. But then again, you're going to have situations where people are going to get a gun illegally. So, it's always going to be that uphill battle. But still, it doesn't make no sense. If you are going to have one, you know, at least get a license for it, you know? Yo, Craig, salute, my guy. I see you, Platty. See y'all in here. Platty, don't come in here starting your madness, lady. I should put you on a big screen for that one. Oh, man. But this is definitely something that you should take into consideration for those who are carrying. Just make sure you safe at all costs, but also make sure you ain't got to worry about going to a funeral. You know, gotta have a lot of morals, and you just gotta have a lot of common sense. Especially like I said, a gun is not a toy. You know, as simple as shot fired from somebody, depending on where they shot you, could mean life or death. Yeah, I ain't here cutting up already. It's all good. Exactly. You know, you don't want to be in that graveyard, and you definitely don't want to be laying in no morgue. You definitely don't want to be laid up in the hospital, brain dead. You got to watch out for a lot of things when you messing around with these guns. You have to. First of all, even if you got a gun, your gun shouldn't be loaded unless you necessarily have to load it up. That's another thing. Either that or make sure that safety on. Gotta make sure, depending on what gun you possess, you gotta make sure some sort of safety mechanism on it so it don't be a tragic situation on top of that. Oh wow. Sorry to hear that. Hey Rebecca, blessings. Yeah, nah, because this is a positive message right here. I mean, come on. At some point we should want to see changes happen as far as that too. We don't want to keep seeing kids dying or kids going to jail for the rest of their life because of negligence at home with guns and any type of weapons. That'd be like you having a damn rocket launcher in the house. What the hell you even doing with that in the house? You know, you gotta be careful. My condolences, because I know that wasn't easy neither, especially when it's family like that. I don't know how, it just goes to show you sometimes it's guns are not cool anyway. And then guess what? For those who do got guns, if you know you might have people in the house that are either mentally or clinically depressed, definitely make sure you don't have that shit in clear sight. You know, you gotta definitely make sure. Because that is the truth right there. You have certain situations where you have people who are depressed, and the minute they steal any type of weapon they felt could take them out their misery, that's what they going for. Like I said, you gotta definitely have a strong mind and a smart mind to keep everything that you know could be a possible danger, keep it out of harm, keep it out of everybody's way. And when it's time to really have to do what you gotta do, then you do what you gotta do. Exactly. And it's not just that situation, Platty. It's just a lot of situations you think about over the course of time. I mean, kids have, even if they didn't get killed, or even if they ain't kill somebody, look how many times you get a kid getting arrested for having a loaded gun in school, knowing they ain't supposed to have it in the first place. That's another situation. That's why I said sometimes these securities, they're gonna have to start doing a little better too. I feel like this, it's not saying, oh, you gotta check everybody's book bag to a degree, but then again, you might have to, only because you don't know. For all you know, you might let somebody slip through the cracks, or somebody could have already had something stashed in the area. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be mindful when you see certain things that look out of pocket. You're supposed to definitely investigate. Point blank. Period. Nah, that's old head. That's the truth though. Like I said, a lot of different programs that we had coming up. You know, it kept some of us off the street. It kept some of us from going down that wrong path, bro. And that's what they need to do. Teach that back in school too, because some kids do get angry, especially if they're being picked on or abused, and nobody is really coming to the aid. Or sometimes they could be going through different things, whether it's home or not. They need that anger management. They need to be able to release that stress and that tension before it gets too crazy. And then now you have a situation where families are crying, families are feeling the type of way. You know, don't let that go over your head up. You know, you think that you're going to be able to withstand all of that, they continue to be irresponsible. Just continue to be irresponsible, and you'll have another situation like this 6 year old, or like all other kids who have possibly killed themselves because they dropped the gun, not knowing what to do. You know, that's a scary notion. And like I said, when it comes to that, it needs to be more classes. It needs to be a little more strict. And like, I feel if you haven't passed a complete course on any type of, then you shouldn't have none. That's why people keep trying to say, oh, the laws need to be changed. No, it's not just the laws. It's just stuff that needs to be implemented more. That's it. You add more guidelines to shit, you might get a different outcome. You might not have to worry about some, damn man, another young soul lost. Like I said, the main thing, definitely start checking on these kids and definitely start making sure they're not going through anything they don't need to go to where they feel like they're going to need a gun. Said you got to be level headed and clear on that. For those who just tuned in, y'all already know hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yo, Little Hell, salute. I'm just saying because you got to really take this into consideration. It should not be that easy for any type of kid. It doesn't matter. Teenager, it shouldn't be that easy for them to get a gun either or have their hands on anything. And sometimes you might have to build a secret compartment just to make sure you good. You get you one of them stash boxes where you know you ain't got to worry about nothing. And even if they try to be nosy or try to get in it, they can't get in it. You know? Yeah, you gotta educate people when it comes to these type of things because when it's all said and done, if you don't have no clear knowledge or education on how to work something, it's always gonna mess up. Uh-huh. Hey, score blessings. True salute, my guy. I'll see y'all in. Yeah, you definitely gotta teach these kids better. And you gotta teach these adults better sometimes. Because some of these adults act like kids. Again, you're gonna have stricter, not gun laws, but just stricter ways and education wise get these people focused. If I know I got a gun, I'm keeping a stash box and I'm keeping a spot in the stash box. No, forget that. I'm putting that stash box somewhere outside the house so I know where it's at. So nobody else has to worry about nothing. Sometimes you just got to be smart. You know, you got kids running through the house. They going to run around being nosy. A closet is not a safe spot for no damn gun. An attic definitely ain't no fucking place for a gun. Especially if you in the attic and you might be cleaning out. You gotta leave that shit somewhere where you know it's at. And if you need to have it close by the house, then you put it close in the house. And still stash it good. And you got to teach the kids too, even if they do come across this, do not touch this. This is a danger. Put it right back where you left it, or put it right back where it was at. Don't touch it. You know, people would sit there and learn that life is very valuable and it could be gone in an instant, especially when it comes to playing with these guns. Ah, yeah, I gotta get in tune, man. Or look how many kids got killed not even shooting the gun. They waving the gun, cops had, you know, like you had slight situations like that. It's rare, but even still. And you know how some of them are trained, they don't give a damn what it is. The minute they see gun being waved at them, they are going to shoot. That's what I'm saying. Like we got to take that into consideration for real. This is getting crazy. Exactly. But see, for some people, that's their first resort, and that's the problem. Your last resort should always be a bullet. It's the truth. But everything else, you should be able to scrap it out, no matter what. But then you got some people, like I said, that they pride is more important than anything. So of course, that's why they're gonna go for the bullet first. This world definitely changed up, you know, and that's the sad thing about it. And I still feel like, regardless to what, I don't care if you got a legal gun or not. You need to have education, and that's the key thing: having education. That's what's up, Score. I know they busting down that food down there too. You know, like I said, you just gotta really take that into a sharp measure. You have to. Your mind always supposed to be sharp. Leaving guns in certain spots of the house, even if you do have a lockbox, that's still a danger. Because now, if it's not a kid, it's a teenager, and they happen to get their hands on it, then what? Shoot, you got people getting killed right now over fake guns that look real. So imagine, you know, you have to have that damn balance. And you gotta have that mindset to say, if I don't necessarily need it, I'm not gonna bring it in this house. Hey, hammer of blessings. I don't know, y'all. I feel that type of way though. Need more education on how to maneuver around certain things so we don't have these type of accidents happening. And also protecting the kids, not just from the guns. Protecting the kids means definitely what I'm saying. Making sure your kid is not being bullied. Also making sure that your kids protecting themselves when they need to protect themselves. And making sure that your kids are going to come to you at any time, especially even if it seems like you might not want to hear it. They got to feel comfortable. And I don't think it's a comfortable situation where you got people who have weapons in the house and these kids are getting their hands on it just as easy. We already know you got to protect the kids as far as, you know, predators and everything else along that line. But you also got to protect them to make sure they not a victim of circumstance too. Sometimes you just need to hear them out and let them get their point across or let them vent. And when it comes to situations, even if you are going to have some sort, like I said, some sort of weapon in the house, you need to give everybody in that house the proper knowledge and education. And even if the event they one of them might have to use it, you still have to give them knowledge. You still have to give them the proper way to do it. Public schools been failing the nation, Craig. That's the one thing. Like I said, they got all this outdated curriculum. They definitely not. They definitely not on point with the security and the all in all, just educational part of it. They're not good with security. And I can say it like that because some schools, their security is trash. Like, because if it's easy for somebody to get into school, get past a metal detector, and still have the gun in there, that should tell you something. You know, I have to start taking more steps and not just bullshit change the laws. No, you gotta really make some steps. Even if you gotta sit there and force a fuck just a picket sign. If you gotta force a whole big protest and get your point across to let people know that this is what it is, then so be it. But it's just sad, like I said, you don't want to have situations where now another kid done lost their life on either spectrum because of negligence. And I feel if you are a negligent parent and that situation happens, you deserve to take the crown because if you would have been smart enough and if you would have knew better, you would have did better. Period. Papa Will salute. For those who just tuned in, you already know hit the like button. Hey Cheryl, blessings. Happy Sunday to everybody. You know, like I said, don't get it twisted. Yes, you are supposed to bear arms because that is your right. That is your amendment right. But then again, you still gotta have that proper knowledge and education when it comes to the gun. Because for all you know, that could be a downfall. You don't even gotta shoot nothing. You could get into a situation if you think your gun is sturdy, your clip might drop out, gun could jam. You don't know. That's why I said you gotta have proper knowledge and education with a gun. It doesn't matter what kind of gun you got. Some of those guns can jam up. Hey Eve, blessings, sis. Happy Sunday. You know, like I said, you don't want to take that chance and you mess around, you lose somebody else behind that. That's why it's always best to just do your knowledge and your research before you bring anything that could possibly be a danger in your house in your house. Like I said, you don't want to see another situation of a 6-year old killing a teacher or shooting a teacher. You don't want to see another situation of a teenager losing their life because they had a loaded gun and before they can even do anything, to, they got shot down. Shit don't make no sense. I just feel like this, all in all, start getting into them. Because yes, at some point, yeah, we are gonna have to stay strapped. But if we gonna have to stay strapped, that means everybody gotta have that key knowledge. Like you have some people who actually do teach their kids the insides and the outsides of guns and teach them that guns are not toys. Everybody needs to do that. If you got some sort of weapon, yeah, you're supposed to keep passing the knowledge when they are old enough. You don't put a gun in their hand when they little. No, you if you're gonna put a gun in their hand, you put a gun in their hand when it's a certain level, and you're teaching them how to shoot for survival. That's just like if it could be a situation where you somewhere near the woods and an animal, dangerous animal coming. Hey, you gotta protect yourself. You ain't just gonna sit there and die. You gotta give these kids knowledge though. But again, if you don't even have proper knowledge, I don't think you should be trying to teach nobody nothing. That's just how I look at it. You know. Wait, Cheryl, what happened? Oh, okay. Nah, because I did have a notification up. You talking about that, Cheryl? I did have a notification up. But they always gonna do that huff shit too. So yeah, because when you giving out real facts and you really hitting on the ball, they'll do that. I just overall feel if you have the prior knowledge and education, we could change a lot of that shit. A lot of these situations wouldn't be happening. And then again, you have to be on point when it comes to the kids because if they are going through something and they feel like that's the move they about to do, no, no, no. You gotta diffuse all of that. You have to. Oh shit. Oh man. Don't let another situation happen like that. You know? Definitely don't need that neither. You know? When you teaching these kids exactly what you need to teach them, you right there in turn are actually helping the cause, whether you believe it or not. Yo, the word salute, my guy. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't want that awareness. See, that's the thing. When it comes to situations like this, and even when you do hit the ball hard, they always going to get mad about something, or they're going to try to say that you causing a hysteria, or no. Don't get mad because I'm really on the ball and I'm on point with it. Because that's not none of that. I'm just saying. You're supposed to bring awareness on all aspects. Shoot, y'all barely bring awareness to a degree. So how you getting mad for the real ones that's bringing the real shit? That's how I feel to a degree. When it comes to people like me that's really stern, strong, and I don't care about whatever, they gonna hate. They gonna hate in the worst way. But then again, they can't stop you when you know you just keep bringing that truth. And there's no lie that need to educate these kids more. Even if you feel you're going to have some sort of weapon in the house, you better give them that education and that tool. And you better make sure you still got your shit stashed away to where there's no issue. Like I said, time to start changing the dynamics on things. And it's time to start re educating everybody on even the smallest things. There's so many things are changing in the blink of an eye. You don't want to mess around and miss something or overstep something, and now you planning for a funeral or something. And honestly, the only Craig, the only reason why some of them are getting their hands on it, like I said, is because if it's easy for you to get certain things, it's going to be easy for you to get a gun, especially if it's the illegal way. But I honestly feel, you got some parents who probably got more than one weapon in the house and won't even notice a weapon is missing. That's why I said, even if you got a gun case or all that other stuff, you got to make sure that gun case is locked at all times and that nobody could get in it. And again, if you don't really need it, you shouldn't have it in the house, period. Protect your kids at all costs and at all angles. And that's definitely another angle. For all you know, one of y'all your kid could grab that gun, go out in the world, not even go to school, but just go out in the world and probably cause chaos, or could cause a mass hysteria to where they don't know what to do. Scorp, you crazy. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. But see, you have common knowledge, so that's a different story, you know? Nah, Craig, is that's something I've been speaking about a couple weeks ago too. That was one of the things I said. We got to stop watching life flash before our eyes, and we got to stop watching people lose their life. That's why I said instead of recording certain things, yeah, actually intervene, especially when you know it's wrong. This era has really become the era of everything has to be recorded. And definitely make sure you protect your kids on social media too, because that's another form of bullying. And that's another way of them getting their hands on something and possibly hurting somebody. Some of you parents gonna have to do better, especially if you know you got the weapons in the house. Start doing better. Double check the areas where you know you might have them shits and make sure it's nothing out of pocket. Make sure ain't nothing out of place. Make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Oh, hey, who you telling? Trust me, who you telling on that one, bro? Yeah, I seen the post you tagged me in, sis. I just didn't comment on it. I did give it a like though, because I didn't fully get a chance to read it. When I was getting ready to, I said, "Oh shoot, I got to start this live." So, but I'm gonna look at that too. I see you got me tagged in it. No, but we ain't talking about criminals, Craig. We just talk about situations that we always see day in and day out, or every other so often. We talk about kids who are getting their hands on weapons that they shouldn't have their hands on, and how some of these parents are really that neglectful and still being neglectful to this day. We know criminals ain't gonna fucking follow no damn protocol. But for those who ain't criminals, their life shouldn't be messed up in an instant neither because of whatever. Like I said, you gotta definitely educate them. Exactly. You are right on that. But just like I said, all in all, though, you gotta retrain your brain. You just gotta retrain everything. Because for some things we thought was the same, it ain't the same no more. It really ain't. Shoot, really ain't the same no more. And for everything that does change, you gotta be able to educate these kids so they know what kind of changes to expect and what to, stay clear from. Like I said, protecting your kids at all costs so they don't become another number in the system or another one laying in the box. Gotta definitely push the kids and educate them better. And that's really about it. No, no, no. No, no, no. Gladdy, trust me. I'm going to read it. I'm just saying, when I was starting to read it, I literally had a minute left before I had to start this live. So I'm going to check this as soon as I'm done. I ain't going to keep y'all all night. Definitely ain't doing that. But I felt that was one thing that needed to get out too. Protecting the kids at all costs, and especially when it comes to these type of situations. We should get tired of reading the newspaper or seeing the news, and this is one of the type of situations happening. Another young person lost because of a gun, either being careless with it or just, you know, causing a panic. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Sorry to hear that, my man. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. There are certain ways you can intervene, but then again, situations like that, even if you try to stop a mother, you gotta be wise. Sometimes them niggas, that's how it happens sometimes. Sometimes these niggas be so scared, they shaky with the gun, how you say it. You know? Look how many instances where crimes have, you know, something that should have been even, and I don't even like saying it, but something that should have just been a simple crime turns into something very, very bad. Like, come on. You get tired of those stories too. Robberies going wrong, home invasion going wrong. Like, because you want to have people that's going to do stupid shit because they feel this is what they want to do. But then again, you are supposed to fight to preserve life too. And I feel for your man because, not to be funny, he didn't have to lose his life and lose his kids, but I feel he did the right thing. He did a noble thing. There are different ways that you could diffuse certain situations. But then you got some people that, like I said, some people don't give a fuck about life. And if they feel they gotta take your life, they will. But then you got some who will try to avoid it. But because they so shaky or scared with the gun, this is what happens. I didn't mean for the gun to go off. I didn't mean this to go off. Then you shouldn't have had your hand on that trigger finger. That's what I'm saying. If you don't necessarily need it for the house, don't bring it in the house. But if you need it for the house, or if you feel you might need it, then when you bring it in the house, guess what? It got to be in a safe spot. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Oh man, like I said, it's just a real sad thing to know that this kid's gonna be in a whole bunch of madness right now, like most of these kids, just because of a situation and just wrong place, wrong time. Lack of education, negligence on the parents' behalf. It really is sad. I see you just be covering out the bushes like a damn ninja realist. telling you, I honestly feel if those things change, a lot of things would change. It'd be a lot less crying, a lot less headaches. But again, you have to pass the education forward on all levels, so you don't have to worry about that shit. I know. No, I don't feel bad. It's the same thing over here. That's why I tell people sometimes you ain't gonna catch me in the chat, but for so long, we'll be doing the same thing. So I don't know, man. Just take that into consideration for those who do have weapons in the house. Make sure your weapons is locked up safely, and make sure it's somewhere where nobody knows where it's at, and nobody will think to look. That's why it's called stash box. Yeah, I could tell I ain't gonna be able to really be long on this tonight. I know I was gonna get an email about something. I'm gonna be doing double duty while I'm doing this double shift. I knew it was gonna happen, y'all. That's why I said I want to do this kind of early, cause I ain't want to be distracted and then forget about my timer set. So yeah, I know a few other ones supposed to be going live, so I definitely want to try to show some support on those. Ah, man, what the hell? Yeah, I know I was gonna see that bull. Well, like I said, all in all, y'all, you're gonna have to change the dynamics and definitely change the dynamics on parenting. You're supposed to give your kids golden knowledge on any and everything, even when it comes down to if you got to bear arms. You're supposed to give them that knowledge so they know what's what. I don't know. That right there always just it makes me sick because I always sit there and look at it like how you got a gun that's in plain sight. So that means you just don't pay attention to anything. That's crazy. Oh, and see, that's the most important thing, Scorp. Remember that you're going to do the best possible things because you see that is helping, and that's what everybody should do. Start helping on any way or any aspect that you can. Like I said, giving education when it needs to be given. That's the most important thing too. What the hell is this? Oh, never mind. I ain't even gotta do that. My bad, y'all. I'm multitasking again. Yeah, I'm good. I see where this is going. And I think it's supposed to snow, y'all. For those in the city, And hopefully you keep yourselves dry tonight. It's supposed to rain and fake snow. So, you know. But yeah, this is something that is always going to be talked about too, because until the dynamics are changed, you're always going to have situations like that. Like I said, if you're going to have a gun, you should be educated enough to have a gun, and you should have the proper education before you even able to start shooting. A fork for the wind in the background. Let me come outside and smoke this cigarette. Yeah, but I don't think we gonna get no. I don't think our snow gonna be that crazy anyway. School. It's gonna be more rain than anything. So, like I said, the main goal is to definitely change the dynamics on things. And when it comes to gun reform and all that other shit, fuck gun reform. How about we start adding more educational value to why it's important to have safety measures when it comes to a gun? Then and only then should it be all right for everybody that are doing it the legal way to get a gun. A gun is not used for intimidation. A gun is supposed to be used for safety in case you need to protect yourself. Not for an intimidation strategy and not for I want to go ape shit stupid. Nah, but that's always it's the truth. But then again, guess what? You still have to train them just in case if that becomes an option. They can't be out here just shooting guns all willy nilly, and you can't just be only showing them how to hold the gun. No, you gotta tell them everything. You gotta show them how to put it together, all that shit. They need to learn those type of courses too. In case you might have to put your gun together again, hey, do what you gotta do. But for those who was in the service, even if you got old pieces in the crib, you might as well make sure they're in the stash box and definitely make sure it's out the house. Like you got some older folks who might have the grandkids coming to visit. You got weapons in the house that they could possibly get their hands on. You better move them, and don't forget. You know, appreciate you, Platty. We giving you one back too. You know, you know. That's why I said it's always going to be an up and down, but I don't feel reform is the most important thing. Education is the most important thing because you're going to keep trying to add reform to certain things, and it's only going to make things worse. Now, if you add education to it, it could probably lighten up the load a little bit. Exactly. And that's what you're supposed to have technically. You're supposed to have like that double, how you say it, that double layer stash box. Yeah, you have on top, you got your tools or whatever you might keep in there, and then at the second compartment, that's where you keep your shit at. But still make sure it's nowhere where the kids can get around to it. You know? Because remember, some kids do like to explore and be nosy, especially when they not being paid attention to. And that could be a sign for trauma too. I did drop the link in the chat in case anybody wanted to pop up and speak on the situation too. So I ain't gonna keep y'all forever. Just felt that message needed to get out there for those who do have weapons in the house. You better educate yourself and re-educate yourself again, and then educate the people in the house. And if you have to inform them that there's something in the house, you better give them the education or not to use it. You better give them that strong education. You know, you definitely don't want to see another tragedy. You definitely hate to hear funerals and all that shit in the ocean too. Well, I said, re-educate yourselves, re-educate the kids, and then you put your best foot forward. So you could possibly do in this life right now. Yeah, we know the world is getting wicked, and at some point we all gonna have to arm ourselves, but you still have to have prior knowledge and education before you do anything. You know, these are just something to think about, y'all, because you gotta look at it. You do not want to have situations where kids are getting their hands on the guns for play. You know, that's why I said a gun shouldn't even be in the house unless it necessarily needs to be. But you know, it's just me. I always gotta think outside the box, and I always gotta bring this awareness, regardless of what. So, not gonna hold y'all forever. Just wanted to chime in with y'all real quick and shit. But definitely don't let it go over your head for those again. You want to avoid a tragedy, you better have prior knowledge and education. And you better pass that prior knowledge and education to those who are going to need it. Because if you don't, this will be another constant situation that's going to keep occurring. We're going to keep having these type of situations where kids are losing their lives or possibly messing up their lives because they was playing around with something they shouldn't have even had their hands on in the first place. You know, nothing more, nothing less. You know, and I do want to say a special prayers to those, again, for those who might be going through it as far as health issues. May God put his healing hand on y'all, and hopefully y'all get back to normal and you'll be able to get back to what you were doing before. And prayers to those who might have lost family members so far this year. I know the year ain't fully set in yet, and we done had so many different things occur. But, you know, the one thing I could say is that time heals wounds, and God definitely heals. So just know that regardless to what, he is watching and he is putting his hands over y'all. You know, this week has been a crazy week in all general. Keep it a buck. Between that and I still go back to the situation. Oh yeah. Um, See, God answers prayers. I see that the football player I mean, yeah, is it Damar Hamlin? Yeah, he finally spoke. You know, so that's a good thing that he's woke and that he was able to speak and give his story. You know, and that's another thing. Like I said, this week has been so crazy because between the situations with the kids, this situation with the football player, and then just all in all, just the stupid rhetoric that been going on as of lately. You know, it really goes to show you that these times are prevalent, and at some point, change is going to come. And when it does, trust me, some of the things that we have witnessed and some of the things that have occurred, It's gonna be basically washed out of existence. Ignorant people, insensitive people, they're gonna be at some point eradicated only because we don't need that no more. We need to get back to what was what, you know, strength, unity, loyalty, and all of that. Gotta get back to that, y'all. Yeah, that's a good thing, you know. Appreciate you, Platty, and you a good one too. All of y'all in here, y'all already know y'all like family, so shoot. Y'all all good. We all got love and respect, but we all got the same things in common. We just want to see change at the best level, and we just want to see the respect level go up. We just want to see a lot of things that we used to have get back to where it was at before. But you know, definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all was in here. Y'all was rocking with your boys, speaking on some real topics. And these are the things you're gonna keep getting, whether I'm on every day or not. You know, awareness is the most important thing, and also education is the most important thing. And without those two, you doomed to fail. Shout outs to the replay gang. Again, if you was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the shadow watchers. And for everybody that was in here, you already know how it is. You know. Good, my boy? Yeah, I'm good. I was about to ask was you good. Shit. Shit. You know, I appreciate y'all, definitely. You know, and these are the things you are going to get. This channel is built for that. It's not just awareness and education, but again, at some point, there will be a building process. So once we get to that, you know, the sky's the limit, y'all. All right, you already. Yeah, you always late for church, DB. There you go. Always late for church. Always late for church. Now I'm messing with you, sis. Happy Sunday. You know, like I said, just try to make 2023 the best possible 2023 that we can make it. You know, definitely just get on point and get in tune with everything. And again, don't ever block no knowledge or block any blessing. Because when you do that, you're blocking y'all. And again, education and awareness are the most important things, along with keeping your health in tune. So, again, you know, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Hope y'all have a blessed evening. Stay safe, stay warm out there. Keep that third eye open. And y'all already know. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.